Swipe Up, episode 217 of the show where I share my opinions on current events, whether you like it or not. Domestic terrorist attack happened, but a lot of news articles have been labeling it as things like attack, eye opener. They label this. They kind of like label this incident as anything but a domestic terrorist attack. And what I'm talking about is the infrastructure attack that left tens of thousands without power has been called an quote unquote eye opener. But it's not the first of its kind. So in North Carolina, a power station was shot at and causing the power to go out for tens of thousands of people in North Carolina without power. One, it shows how absolutely ridiculously effortless it would be for somebody to attack the infrastructure in this country, right? I mean, we have people taking off their shoes in airports. We have zero. We have like these they want to like arm teachers and things like that. But like somebody who, and the theory is this was in response to a widely people that were widely against a drag show that was happening, right? There was a lot of controversy, a lot of people protesting, and of course spewing their hate at this pretty benign event that was going to take place. And the theory is that this was caused by somebody who wanted to keep that event from happening, which is not crazy. I mean, there's a lot of right-wing people that feel that anybody that exists on the infinite spectrum that is other than a straight person, it has been labeled by politicians, has been labeled by right-wing media, has been labeled by a lot of the right-wing figureheads and celebrities as evil and demonic, and they are the ones who are grooming kids and molesting kids. Meanwhile, the historic nature of an organization that has been widely known historically to abuse children in religious organizations like the Catholic Church, Christian churches, many of which continue to abuse, groom, and harm children historically, and the churches literally protecting the people who have done those atrocities to children. That is none of their concern. They are seemingly completely okay with those organizations continuing to function while everybody knows, like, it's so well known that the Catholic Church has historically molested children, that there are jokes about priests molesting kids. But none of the people that are supposedly wanting to protect children doing anything to stop that from happening in those places. Meanwhile, they're just the sheep who listen to the propaganda machines. They listen to the politicians. They listen to their the quote unquote news anchors on Fox News or whatever right wing propaganda network they happen to consume all of their misinformation from, who label these groups as evil, and they, without any proof of that ever being an issue ever, no proof given of instances of what they say happens actually happening, right? As is the majority of their behavior, their sheepish behavior, right? Reality and proof are things that are not at all required for them to demonize, attack, and follow through with the encouragement from the leaders of those political parties. So if this came from that, would not be surprised. And the fact that the news organizations are not labeling this as a domestic terrorist attack only goes to confirm that it was probably done by some straight white guy, because historically the color of your skin will determine the severity of the accusation, and generally the people with less melanin in their skin tend to have be handled with baby gloves, and not labeled as severely as somebody who has darker skin or has a religious belief that is something other than Christian. And so it wouldn't be surprised. They say they don't know who it is, but considering how they're saying it, I think they assume they know. And that's why it's not being labeled as a domestic terrorist attack, which it clearly is. Somebody attacking the infrastructure and removing electrical power from tens of thousands of people, I would say is a pretty severe attack on the citizens of this country. And it was clearly carried out by a citizen. So in pretty basic terms, it was a domestic terrorist attack. And, it's crazy. It's crazy. And again, another attack used by a tool generally used to end life. Usually guns are used to kill a bunch of people. This time they were used to destroy equipment that's taking forever for them to replace. And, it's this is only serves to be a proof of concept for other people that want to do the same thing. That's all it does. That's all it does. The same thing with school shootings, that started back in 1999. Only proved to show that it's possible to get away with it. And as we've seen over the 20-plus years of school shootings that continuously happen, there is a massive population of this country that will do everything to protect a human's right to carry out a horrific event like that, right? They care far more about gun manufacturers being able to create and sell and profit off of tools specifically designed to carry out horrific attacks like that than they do the children that are being slaughtered. So much so that they will believe fabricated stories by delusional humans like Alex Jones that it is a fabricated act, that these things aren't even happening, right? That's how deep they put their head in the sand. But anyway, I don't know. I haven't heard anything about follow-ups. I mean, now that I'm no longer on Twitter, I'm detached in a lot of ways from the insanity that's constantly going on. So who knows if this has been, especially by the time this episode comes out, if power has been restored. But pretty crazy that, I mean, they've been out of power for a long time. And, unless it's like a major corporation, there's not a whole lot of support for actual citizens in this country. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on YouTube and everywhere our podcasts are found. Binge the full week over at inspireddisorder.com/plus. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!
Today is the day where you wake up and you realize that everything that you've been dreaming about, everything that you've been wanting, every goal and wish and hope that you've ever had can become real. Dreams can come true. What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.